Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to McAdee's Entertainment. I'm your host as always, Adam McGahee. I just wanted to give a huge thank you to all of those who have been making this channel grow like absolutely crazy. Your love, comments, and support on our Suicide Squad videos have made this channel go into the stratosphere. We have made it to 3,000 subscribers, which is something I honestly never thought would happen. I love making these videos, and your comments really mean the world to me and motivate me to keep going. You all are the true heroes. In our last video, we did a breakdown and comparison of the expert marksman Deadshot and the deadly mercenary Bloodsport to see who would win in a hypothetical one-on-one duel. I will have that linked in the description below. In today's video, we'll be doing another Suicide Squad character duel, except this time, we'll be comparing the two big bads from both films. Therefore, this will pit the 2016 Suicide Squad villain the Enchantress, played by Cara Delevingne, against 2021's The Suicide Squad villain Starro, played by himself. We'll do a breakdown on the characters, their weapons and fighting skills to see who would be the overall deadliest warrior. We'll be pulling a combination of statistics from the movies and the comics. So without further ado, let's see who's the best otherworldly DC villain controlling a mindless zombie army. We'll start things off with the OG Suicide Squad villain, the Enchantress. Character history. Enchantress is an interdimensional entity who lives within the body of the human woman June Moon. June was a freelance artist who discovered this entity after being invited to a costume party at an old castle. The entity influenced June to say the words Enchantress. This word allowed the spirit to take over June's body and become a superpowered being. The Enchantress was then able to use her newfound physical form to battle an evil spirit that resided within the castle. So it's kind of like an evil ghostly version of saying Henshin a go-go baby. So instead of turning into the colorful red superhero Beautiful Joe, you turn into a scary ghost lady. I'm sticking with Beautiful Joe. Man, that series really needs a switch port. The Enchantress spirit was extremely unstable and powerful, balancing on both the side of good and evil, and the Justice League Dark worked together to ensure that the spirit was confined to only June's body. In the Suicide Squad film, the origin was slightly changed and made June Moon an archaeologist who discovered an ancient container within sacred ruins in Peru. Upon opening the container, it released a mysterious black mist that contained the Enchantress spirit, which proceeded to possess her. So, bottom line is, stay away from creepy old castles and ancient ruins. They could keep their scary cursed spirits. I'm staying right home where I belong. Powers and abilities. The Enchantress is an extremely powerful sorceress. Some of these powers include flight and energy projection, which allows her to project raw energy out of her body. This can be used to harm others or even form a protective barrier around herself. She also contains the rare power of molecular reconstruction, which allows her to transform anyone or anything into anything else. She also displayed this ability in the film by turning countless citizens and soldiers within Midway City into her own personal zombie-like militia, which battled against the Suicide Squad. She also has several other reality warping powers involving weather control and illusion casting, which allows her to plant false memories into someone else's mind. She displayed this when she was able to convince the Changing Man that he was seeing the ghost of his deceased wife. She also displays this ability in the third act of the movie by implanting visions of what each squad member truly desired when they tried to destroy her. One of the Enchantress's greatest strengths and weaknesses, though, is that she is tied to the physical body of June Moon. Having this physical host allows her to greatly harness and control her powers, but without it, she becomes insane and unstable. The film made her weakness a little different in the case that while being an otherworldly spirit, she still had a physical heart, which when destroyed, can kill the Enchantress spirit. Amanda Waller knew this and kept the heart in a case in order to keep the witch in line. So with these extraordinary abilities, Enchantress is definitely someone I'd want to be on my side of a fight instead of the opposing team. She's on the opposing team, you better just start praying she ends you quick and turns you into like a toaster or something. You know, just chilling there making toast for people. Doesn't sound too bad to me. Next up, is the adorable one-eyed starfish himself, Starro the Conqueror. Character history. Starro is a mind-controlling intergalactic starfish-like alien who is the leader of a full-on race of alien starfish called the Star Conquerors. The Star Conquerors would roam planet to planet where they would use their powers to take control of the planet's citizens so that way they can build nests to help give birth to their next queen, known as the Mother Star. They would have to do this regularly as the queens would eventually die of old age. This would cause Starro to seek out a planet teeming with intelligent life to control. This eventually led him to the planet Earth, which he attempted to take over. He would then come to do battle with the Justice League on multiple occasions, making him one of the strongest, strangest, and most deadly opponents they had ever faced. While in the comic, Starro had every intention of coming to Earth to take it over, his movie origin made him a much more tragic character, for in the film, he reveals he was a creature completely intent on floating around through space just admiring the stars, until he was discovered by astronauts who captured and delivered him to the US government, who experimented on him for years to turn him into a weapon. This reveal was so sad. The little guy was just vibing and was taken from his home against his will, was driven insane by the government, and then had his brain eaten out by a legion of rats. No amount of therapy could fix that. R.I.P. King, you will be missed. Powers and abilities. Although not as strong as Superman, Starro is still insanely powerful and is able to lift several hundred tons. He is able to asexually reproduce countless mini versions of himself which latch onto his victims' faces, providing him full control of their bodily functions. Now this ability only works if the parasite makes physical contact with the victim. So if you wear your mask, you'll be okay in a Starro invasion. However, the larger, more powerful Starros have the ability of remote mind control, in which they can access their victim's subconscious while they are sleeping and control them that way. So even if you wear your mask to bed, I sadly don't think it's going to do much good against an Omega Starro. Similar to Enchantress, Starro also has the ability to self-heal and can even regrow itself from a fragment of its original body. They can also absorb energy and redistribute it as a powerful blast that can be used to damage their opponent. A fully grown Starro becomes essentially invulnerable to most conventional attacks, whether that be gunfire or even nuclear weapons. The adult Starro will just be able to absorb the blast and shoot it back out. Now, while extremely powerful, the mighty Starro does have a few weaknesses. Some of these include extreme cold, and oddly, and specific enough, anti-starfish toxin, which was created by a group of Starro hunters. Now, we need more practical dudes like this around. They know the score. While the Starro at the end of the Suicide Squad did appear to be fully grown, he was able to be hurt by the extra-dimensional power of Polka Dot Man's polka dots, and of course was able to have his eye pierced by Harvey's javelin, and thousands of rats. So either he was not fully grown yet, or the writers were playing around with his abilities for the sake of the plot. So given a breakdown of these bizarre yet powerful DC characters, just who would win in a fight? Honestly, if I had to put my money on this one, I'm going to side with the Enchantress. Starro's main goal is to get one of his miniaturized versions on you so he can take over your mind. But as explained before, the parasite has to make physical contact in order for the control to take effect. Enchantress can of course create a magical barrier around herself that would protect her against any conventional attack. My thought is that she could therefore deflect an onslaught of slimy starfish parasites, or even use her reality warping power to render them completely useless. She could then probably even use her mental abilities to trick Starro into thinking he was back home in space, giving her enough time to enter his giant eye and destroy his brain from the inside. Now, in a perfect world, that's how I could picture things going down. But hey man, this is the wild and bonkers world of DC, so anything can happen. Given that Starro is indeed a conqueror, he is no stranger to guerrilla warfare. He could use his mind control tactics to gather intel on his opponent and discover Enchantress's alter ego, June Moon, in her human form. Before giving her a chance to even utter the words to transform, Starro could throw a parasite on her or even take control of her in her sleep, granting the abilities of the mighty Enchantress under his control. So given more of a strategic approach over a direct one-on-one confrontation, I could absolutely see Starro having the advantage in this situation. However, me still being just a big dumb kid, I would love to see both of these go at it head to head with both of their legions of zombified armies going at it against each other. You know, just huge Dragon Ball Z style lasers going all over the place and an army of zombies fighting over each other. That's a perfect world for me. Now, no matter how it would happen, it would be cool to see these two go at it on the big screen. Now, I definitely think there was great potential with the character of Enchantress that was not really met with 2016's Suicide Squad, so I definitely would like to see her again, except maybe this time working with the squad to take down an enemy instead of being the enemy. However, what I'm most interested in is what you think. Who do you think would win in this fight, Enchantress or Starro? Who do you think made the better big bad? Sound off in the comments. Also be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon to be notified of all of our latest videos. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you are awesome and loved, God bless, and I will see you in the next one.